Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, we have a debate between the Washoe County District Attorney Chris Hicks and his challenger, Spark City Attorney Wes Duncan. All coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Aaron Ford's high-flying travel has caught the attention of nonpartisan investigators on the Nevada Ethics Commission. Ethics officials are examining $35,000 in luxury trips taken by Ford, largely paid for by corporations his office regulates. The investigation also includes allegations Ford leveraged his position for personal gain, accepted gifts, and improperly used government resources. High-flying Aaron Ford. Luxury travel, special interest perks, too much baggage to be governor.
You'll be rolling with some swag during the $150,000 Spring Bling giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Make it rain with up to $5,000 in cash every week and 20 large in cash guaranteed during the grand finale drawing. We're blinging in your good times at Tamarack Casino.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are pleased to welcome back to the program two gentlemen that have been on the program in the last couple of weeks. A lot has developed. This is the race for Washoe County DA. Chris Hicks is the district attorney, has been since 2015. And Wes Duncan is challenging him, and he's the Spark City attorney running for Washoe County DA. One of the things that you've said, and some of the stuff we've talked about before, but for those who have not watched the previous shows, I just want to go through it again. You indicated that police officers have your back no matter what. Does that mean any case would go forward that's brought to you?
No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that the people that are wearing bulletproof vests and have a gun on their hip every day, who put their life on the line every day, trust that I'll have the leadership to make sure that they're heard and that the cases go forward. I would just tell you this, I'm running to make Washoe County a safer place and to restore integrity to that office.
Do you believe it's not a safe place now?
Well, the crime rate has been up every single year that Mr. Hicks has been the district attorney. You look in Reno, the violent crime rate is 57% above the national average. But more so, think about the cases that aren't going forward. I'm running to try to deliver justice for victims who've been denied justice by Mr. Hicks' office. Take Kimberly Mole, who was raped in South Reno. She pulled a gun on her attacker. She called 911. She went through an invasive rape kit, was willing to testify. Mr. Hicks denied her justice. 7 people gunned down in a Reno apartment. Police arrested the suspect. He fled the scene, and he pointed the finger at RPD and said that it was their fault and didn't go forward on the cases.
Okay, quick response to this before we go to Chris for a response. Where did you get those statistics for about violent crime?
Yeah, the FBI, their most recent report in 2023 and 2024 detailed those things. And so, look.
Well, okay, let's hold it right there. Chris, your turn to respond.
Well, the first thing I would say is it's shocking that someone running for DA would rely on the FBI crime statistics. Those are widely panned. Everybody who works in criminal justice knows they're not reliable. And here's why. The FBI crime statistics are voluntary. So major metropolitan areas that have huge crime problems don't report. So what it does is it inflates the national crime statistics for the jurisdictions that do. What you can rely on for crime statistics is Nevada crime statistics. It's our own internal database. You're going to see throughout this debate that Wes is just lying throughout this campaign. His whole campaign is built on lies, and this is just the first one. Crime is down in Nevada, in Washoe County, across the board over its 5-year high trends. And I can also say, as the DA, I see what comes into my office. And from 2024, criminal case submissions from law enforcement to 2025, it dropped by 24%. That's a meaningful number. So that is 24% less cases being brought to the DA's office, which naturally means crime is down. I do have to address the other point he made, and that is I'm not charging cases. There's all this lack of justice. We charge over 92% of the cases that are submitted to us by our law enforcement partners in the community. And to give you some context, the national average for crime rates, charge rates, is 78% for jurisdictions our size. We are one of the highest in the whole state of Nevada, so there's not justice being lost.
Okay, let's take a pause there. Do you want to rebut anything that the
Well, I would
DA
just
has
ask
said?
Mr. Hicks, why is it that every single active law enforcement association has endorsed us in the race? It's because you're not delivering justice to this community. What do you say to Kimberly Mole, who was raped, that you didn't go forward on her case? What do you say to the family of Felipe Acuna, who's 19 years old, who had his entire life ahead of him, and he was gunned down by Fahad Estepa because you no-charged a case and released him back into the community?
Okay,
What do you say to
do you
this?
want to rebut?
Of course I do. The first thing I'd say is, bam, well, yet again, he starts with a lie. He is not unanimously endorsed by law enforcement. Wes Duncan is pumping out information to this community, thousands of mailers, billboards, door knocking. I am unanimously supported by law enforcement, and that is an outright lie. He is supported by a handful of union board members, and it's not even unanimous there. There are union board members who aren't supporting him. Yesterday, I was delivering yard signs to active law enforcement officers in this community who are repulsed by what the union bosses have done in supporting Wes Duncan. So the notion that he would say, I'm unanimously supported by law enforcement, is so patently false. And what I would go to is the number one law enforcement officer in this whole state, our governor, Joe Lombardo, Sheriff Governor Joe Lombardo, is backing me. He is telling Republicans in our communities, do not vote for this guy. Vote for this guy. And that is because of my record and what I've done.
Okay.
Wes Duncan doesn't want to talk about records.
Okay,
he wants to talk about cases he knows nothing about.
Okay, do you want to rebut?
Well, I mean, of course, Chris didn't answer your question, and he can't answer the question because every single association is with us because he is failing this community, and he fails to cooperate and work with them. There's a lack of training, there's a lack of communication. It's so rare for a sitting district attorney, especially a Republican, to lose their law enforcement support. He's managed to lose them all. And the sheriff in this community, Sheriff Balaam, is remaining neutral in this race. He's been working with Chris for the last 8 years, and he hasn't endorsed him. And everybody in politics know when somebody stays neutral, they know what that means. So look, the bottom line is he's not going to answer to the victims' families in this communities because he's failing them.
Okay, do you want to rebut there?
I do. My entire career has been based on helping victims and victim families, a record he cannot talk about. I have dedicated 24 years to this community, prosecuting cases known to be a tough on crime prosecutor, prosecuting some of the most notorious crimes in the history of this state. James Bila, Chaz Hicks, Wilbur Ernesto Martinez Guzman. That is real results, real work done for crime victims. He will continue to bend the truth because that's all he has. And again, Balaam, he's now saying, well, Sheriff Balaam's clearly not behind me because he's staying out of it. How in the world can you say that? So he is just misleading in the hopes that the real truth won't come out.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back after this timeout.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Tolls Development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Hi, I'm George Harris, and I'm running for State Senate in District 8. If you love dogs like I do, you know their family. You can count on me to protect our four-legged friends. As your state senator, I'll review every dog pound in shelter, and I'll demand accountability. And I'll make sure animals are treated humanely. I'll stiffen the penalties for animal abuse, and I'll go after illegal, unlicensed puppy mills, because cruelty has no place in Nevada. It's a dog-eat-dog world, but together, we can protect the ones who depend on us.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our debate with Washoe County DA Chris Hicks and Sparks City Attorney Wes Duncan, who is running for that seat. Chris, since we last spoke, there's an Ethics Commission complaint that's been filed against you. You're currently facing allegations of violating state ethics laws. These claims center around the promotion of your wife, Nicole Hicks, within the district attorney's office. The claim was brought by a former police officer and school board member. Your thoughts on this?
Well, the first thing I'd say is I haven't seen the complaint. So all I saw is the press release that Jeff Church, the person you're speaking of, put out. All you have to do is Google Jeff Church and you'll see the quality of that kind of a complainant. But at the end of the day, as to the issue you're talking about, there is no nepotism in the DA's office. I've explained this many times before. It's old news trying to be recycled by Wes Duncan, again, telling lies. My wife and I met in the DA's office many years ago. We had the exact same position. We fell in love like so many people do at work. We got married. And then ultimately my predecessor, Dick Gamick, asked me to run for the DA, just like many people in the community did. And we made sure that we could do that because my wife on her own is an extraordinary prosecutor. She's done amazing things for this community, and we wanted to make sure that we could both continue serving. We followed every ethics law. We followed every Attorney General's opinion on the matter. We followed Supreme Court precedent. We've worked with county HR on the matter. And the fact is there is no nepotism. Since day one as DA, I have had nothing to do with any personnel decisions involving my wife, which is the exact structure that it should be. The last thing I would say, Sam, is Wes Duncan wants to make this race about my wife, and that's shameful. He is trying to suggest that my wife should be fired despite all of what she's done for this community, what she's done for kids with the Child Advocacy Center, what she's done for murder victims, because we're married. And what I would end with is he should just stick with me.
All right.
Because she is so far out of his league, he should not even be able to say her name.
All right, let's have your response.
Well, so I mean, it's under NRS, it's a crime to employ a county elected official. It's a crime to employ your spouse. Okay, it also violates ethical principles within the state. There's actually precedent for this, Sam. Do you know what the precedent is? When Mr. Hicks's dad became district attorney in the 1970s, his uncle Bud actually quit. So back in the 1970s, the Hicks family knew what the ethical thing was to do. But it's even worse than this, Sam, because not only is he just thinks that the law doesn't apply to him, he actually, the reason why this case is even more egregious, as reported by This Is Reno, is that there was an HR investigation because his wife was creating a toxic work environment It was obviously substantiated because she was demoted from the position, then brought back to the office instead of fired. And then a few short years later, instead of going through a competitive process where there were other candidates who could have done the job as well, she's promoted back to chief where she makes $250,000. Mr. Hicks and his wife make $550,000 a year on the taxpayer dime. That's why he's doing ethical gymnastics to try to get around this issue, because he benefits from it financially to the tune of $550,000. And so why don't you just do the precedent that your dad and your uncle set years ago and be ethical and follow the law? It's really easy.
You want to rebut?
Yeah, his role, something like Wes, again, beyond his lying, he shows his inexperience and misunderstanding of the law. The law is very clear. To employ means to hire, not when someone's already been in the office. That's what all the authority states. It's very clear. There are no ethics violations. And again, it is so demeaning and misogynistic that he would suggest the only reason that a woman is being successful in the workplace is because her husband is the DA. She has done amazing things for this community, just like I have. The two of us collectively have served as prosecutors for over 45 years. This man just jumps from one job to the next, and he has no meaningful prosecutorial experience, and he thinks he can be DA. So let's talk about the record instead of trying to bring my wife into the conversation.
Okay, you want to respond?
Yeah, sure. Chris, you put your wife in this position.
Yeah, and you don't want to talk about your record. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll talk about my record.
Please.
You can dispel all of this right now by releasing the HR investigation that you've been hiding. If there's no smoke, then let us see the HR investigation and all the emails. You say you've had no role in it, then release the HR report that you've been hiding.
I haven't been hiding anything. So
you'll
again,
release the report.
Yet another lie. There is no hidden HR report. Personnel matters are personnel matters. But I have nothing to do with Nicole Hicks' employment in the DA's office, period. That's it. End of story.
Well, Sam, I'll just say this. There's a 2025 ethics opinion that says that the supervisor of the supervisor, if you have Chris Hicks and you have Zach Young and you then have Nicole Hicks, that's a prohibited ethical chain of command. That's a 2025 ethics opinion, and he's not following it. So he's going to skirt around the issue and not really deal with the issue. They're doing ethical gymnastics because they're benefiting financially, and he thinks he's above the law, and it's not right.
Chris?
I'm not going to dignify it any further. So let's go to something else.
Okay, let's take a break, and we'll come right back after this timeout.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government. Give and take. We don't give up. We keep working. We keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
I was born and raised here, a proud fifth-generation Northern Nevadan. It's in my blood. For the past 24 years, I've been giving back to our community as a career prosecutor, not a career politician. My oath as your district attorney is to serve you, to provide fair and impartial justice, and firm accountability for those who break our laws. I'm Chris Hicks, Washoe County District Attorney, and I respectfully ask for your vote.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our debate with Washoe County DA Chris Hicks and Sparks City Attorney who's running against Chris, Wes Duncan. Over the weekend, we saw an endorsement come through the Reno Gazette-Journal and other periodicals with several former police chiefs and sheriffs penning an endorsement for Chris. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, look, we respect their service. A lot of those folks haven't worn the badge for 8 years. And again, respect their service, but active law enforcement associations who are actually doing the job right now and who have been impacted by Chris's charging policy, those chiefs, they weren't impacted by the charging policy of the DA's office over the last 3 years. The folks that are putting the bulletproof vest on, wearing the gun on the hip, putting their life on the line every day that are impacted by the lack of cooperation and leadership from the DA's office, they're supporting us. And they're also, I understand, have penned an op-ed to respond to what those chiefs had said.
Okay, Chris.
Again, he has the support of a handful of police union bosses, and that's it. And he has publicly stated in the Reno Gazette, I will always have their backs. You cannot, as the DA, always have anybody's back. And that is exactly what those law enforcement leaders were saying in their editorial opinion. They understand and respect the independence of the DA's office. And you cannot be a rubber stamp for law enforcement. You cannot always have the back of the police unions. I would like to ask Mr. Duncan, what's he going to do when he's investigating an officer-involved shooting, which the unions are heavily involved in, when he says, I'll always have their back? What's he going to do when he's negotiating a contract on behalf of the city and the union is trying to get a pay raise and he's supposed to be representing his client? What's he going to do when he has to review their work every day and occasionally tell them, it's not there. You got to go back to the drawing board. He's not going to be able to do it because he's compromised his objectivity. Now, what I would say really quick, Sam, is again, we charge over 92% of the cases law enforcement brings to the DA's office, and the Washoe County DA's office is the toughest on crime DA's office in the whole state. We send more convicted criminals to prison per capita than any other county in the state of Nevada, which shows we are taking care of victims, we are holding criminals accountable, and actually with a 92% charge rate, we are working very closely with law enforcement, which is why I have officers asking for yard signs to debunk the lies he is telling.
Okay, now I've got to bring this up because the DA has called you a liar multiple times during this interview, and how do you respond to that?
Well, look, I'm a full colonel in the Air Force, and so, being called a liar by Chris Hicks is obviously trying to deflect from his record. Doesn't really bother me. I've helped help the Iraqis prosecute terrorists in Iraq, and so I've been battle tested in many different ways. He keeps talking about union bosses. Sam, what people need to understand is these associations are represented by active law enforcement officers who volunteer their time to represent the interests of the rank and file members of these groups. I would just ask anybody in this community, talk to a police officer, ask them about the charging policies in this community. And what do your eyes tell you when you turn on the news and you're hearing about shootings in places across Washoe County that there shouldn't be? When people like Myra Rodriguez, who got
hang on,
19 years ago.
I'm sorry, isn't that the police department's responsibility, not the DA's responsibility?
No, the DA is supposed to follow through and charge the cases. This is why they're so frustrated. He's going to talk about statistics and all these different things. What do you see with your eyes? And the issues are so bad that violent crime, again, is up in this community. You see it, we hear it. There's shootings, there's murders. In Reno in 2024, the murder rate was the same as Stockton and San Francisco in this community.
Okay, Chris?
Look, I'll end with this. He obviously doesn't like statistics because they're real data. But I would ask you this. I would ask your viewers this. Do you honestly believe that the sheriff governor of the state of Nevada, Joe Lombardo, would come out and support the district attorney if I was soft on crime, if I wasn't charging cases, if all the police officers were against me? Do you honestly think he would ask me to be spearhead his criminal justice policy platform where we've passed significant legislation? Would he be saying vote for Chris Hicks? not Wes Duncan. If that were the case, I just ask your viewers to use their common sense and rely on what's really out there. And it is unfortunate he's lying, but it is what it is.
Sam, he can call me a liar as much as you want. Facts are the facts, and they're stubborn things. This is quite simply incumbents supporting incumbents. Chris Hicks is in the pocket of every single special interest who's tried to run this town for the last 50 years. You can check his C&Es. He is handpicked by them. He's in their pocket. We have the support of the party of the Washoe County.
The same people asked for their money back from the
Washoe County GOP party. We have the grassroots, the young Republicans. We have the rank and file of all of active law enforcement. We have the people that are the heart of the party and doing the job every single day. We have their support, and I'm grateful for it.
I was going to say, these are the same people that he's talking about. These are community leaders that support me because they know what I've done. And these very leaders have asked Wes Duncan to give the money back that they gave him when he was running for other offices. We're 300 plus days from that request. He still hasn't given that money back. And that is exactly who Wes Duncan is. He is a career politician who will say anything and do anything to get to the next rung of the political ladder without ever gaining any meaningful experience. So now I'm the insider guy when he asked for the very same money.
Well, it's very ironic that the guy who's been in elected office twice as long as I have is calling me the career politician who's been in the office for 25 years. That's pretty ironic.
As an elected official.
Here's the other deal, Sam.
Okay.
No.
We've
Sam.
got about 10 seconds left for each of you.
That may be, his donors may control him, Sam. They can control what office he runs for and giving the donations. No donors control me. And so they don't get to tell me what I get to run for and where I spend the money.
Okay, last 10 seconds to you, Chris.
Well, again, I hope, again, he never once talked about his experience, his record, what he wants to do. All he tries to do is deflect and say that I'm doing a horrible job. I hope the voters and the viewers, I know they will, I trust this community, will look at the facts. The facts are clear. We're doing a good job in the Washoe County DA's office, and it would make 0 sense to replace an experienced prosecutor with Wes Duncan.
And that's where we have to leave it. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming in to do this. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Sam.
And we'll be right back.
The Road to Riches leads straight to the Carson Valley Inn. Cash drawings Thursday and Saturdays. Over 480 winners. Score up to $15,000 weekly. Plus one $10,000 cash winner and the $20,000 guaranteed grand prize giveaways. Free meals, free play, and more. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at nevadanewsmakers.com. And our archive goes back to 2002. So you can look at all kinds of historic interviews right here on Nevada Newsmakers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.